Hello everyone, this is my project, and just for a couple seconds you get to look at my beautiful family name as I just describe what I did for my project. I made a calendar with the intent to give it to my mom as a Christmas gift, and I have a really big family. I have six sisters, two of us are married, and then I have two nieces. And while it looks like a bunch of triangles and squares and octagons or whatever shape you want, you're going to see it. Um, there was a lot of design that went into it. I was very deliberate about each picture and where I wanted to place the picture. I didn't want to overshadow any member of my family. I wanted to give each member equal attention. And I also thought of my mom as my audience and the kind of things that she would want to see. And she's not overly complex, she's very simple. And since I don't have a lot of design skills, I went with super simple. And it really was neat to learn what I did about InDesign. A lot of trial and error, but I also did each month with a theme according to whether it was an event in our life or a birthday. And I started off with January being family photos. This was my wedding. And I thought it's the beginning of the year. This was the most recent, the last time we had all been together as a family. Well, except my sister who's on a mission. She's the cardboard person right there. And I just thought I wanted her to look to January and see all of her blessings, being us, her family, and what a great year she was going to have. And what I did when I would make the months, the colors in here, I would use the eyedropper tool to pull from the different colors in the pictures so that they were completely the same as the pictures before. And my sister, her birthday is in February. So I did her and her family, and it used to look even more cheesy than it does now. I had like hearts on it, but it was so cheesy looking I needed to get rid of it. And I discovered the stroke tools in framing, so I had a little fun with this. And yeah, this is February. For each birthday during the year, I put a picture of that person on their date. And so this one actually ended up being my favorite. It used to be this just three pictures with like this. I used the pen tool to try to make this wave, but it looked so bad. And then I discovered the octagon tool, and I don't know, I had a lot of fun doing this. I think it looks cool, and I was able to fit each of my family members in it, and it's now become one of my favorites. And this is April, which is my mom's birthday month, so I tried to get a picture of her with each of us or just a member of everyone. And at first, this was just completely white with no border, and I actually thought it didn't look too bad, but once I added the border, I was like, damn, I need to add more borders. So I did. And that's my birthday, the 29th. So, not that that matters, but anyway, this page used to look exactly like this. I had checkered the whole thing as like a calendar looking thing with a yellow border, and Ethan was like, too much, way too much. So I took his idea to try to turn it into like a wall montage of frames of different sizes and stuff. And it took me a while to get them all the right size, and but it's my dad's month because that's when his birthday is, and so I put one of him with each of us, and he's a bit of a crazy human. That's him dancing on a boat. Anyway, so this is May. And June, I have to admit, is my worst month. It came down to I'm so sick of this, and I just put pictures on a color. And if I could go back, I would want to work on this more and just make it look better. But it's my little sister, her birthday's in July, but I put her in June because I have another sister who has a birthday in July. And this is like the middle of the year and it's the best one. I mean, that is so cool, that fading into each other. It's just a gradient feather, and then I made the top left picture more transparent just so that it didn't be so dark against the lighter with the gradient. And I love this because the shoreline with the water, they all blend together, and that turned out being more of a fluky thing. But this is when I was like, oh, maybe I can design pretty cool, and I felt like a designer. It was neat. Then this is my husband's birthday month, so I did the two of us, and at first I had all of the pictures just on white, just like these different sizes, but then I decided to go in and add this border, the green border, and I really like it. And because it's me and my husband, who's my favorite person, it's my favorite month. And these are all the different places we've been together too, so it's one of my favorites. I actually didn't notice how bright the August is, and I wish I could go back and change it, but I've already sent this to the printer. This I love is September of my nieces, and I grouped them. Like I was like, okay, the top left is going to be them with their parents, the bottom right is them with their grandparents, and then the bottom left is them together, and the top right is them separate. And so that is just a thought process of a lot of what I did with the calendar, was just being very deliberate and thoughtful about where I placed the pictures. And I think that is important with design. And then October, I did this for my sister Annabelle. She's serving an LDS mission, and she gets back in November of 2017. So I wanted my mom to look to October and see a lot of Annabelle, because our last month without her and the anticipation of her coming home. So that's why I chose to do her this month. And I really wanted to just have a single picture of my mom with all of her girls, and so I just did that for November. I had like a bunch of these family pictures collaged, but it just didn't look good because there were so many of us. It was way too busy. So this is one of her favorite pictures, and I made that November. And then the last one is December, which I know it looks like kind of like a cartoon, but I think it's cute. And I had made like this calendar out of triangles, and I cut all these pictures to be around the triangles, and it just didn't look. I was like, oh, I have to keep this because I did a unique thing. I used the pen tool and I made a cool tree, but it sucks. Like, it looks terrible, but I did it. But so then I just scrapped it, and I decided to do it out of boxes, and I think that it looks so much better, and I kind of like the cheesy look that it has. And these are my two sisters who have a birthday in that month. So this is my calendar, and I actually really did have a lot of fun making it, and I'm really looking forward to doing more with design. And I feel like I'm a lot more familiar with InDesign now, that I could do more projects on it. And I learned a lot of aspects of it that I didn't. And I, above all, learned that designers and editors, whatever we are, need to be confident in the work that we do, because it'll never be good enough if you're not. And I know it's never going to be perfect, but we do have to believe that it is good. And I do really believe that I made a kick butt calendar, and my mom's gonna love it, and that is what I am excited for, and I'm grateful that I was able to do it. So that's my presentation. Thank you.